Yeah. Okay. Looks like we are live. So, welcome everybody to Mappy Hour. This is our happy hour for those of us who love maps, also known as geocachers. So, cheers, everybody. We have made it to another Friday. Cheers. Oh. Awesome. Well, I am Lisa, Lookout Lisa, your host tonight. And this is our other host.
Matt, JD, Kid Vegas 19.
Yeah, so welcome everybody to Mappy Hour. So we're broadcasting from our home office studio here in Spokane, Washington. And oh, just getting texts on my watch, not on my watch. We are broadcasting, we're live here on our Zoom call, which is being broadcast to Facebook, or I'm sorry, not Facebook, but YouTube. So hello, all of our YouTube friends and family. So Kid Vegas 19 JD is going to be monitoring comments there. So if you'd like to join in the conversation, if you're watching us on YouTube, just go ahead and type it in the comments and we'll bring it in as we go. So our topic tonight is really no topic. It's your topic. I want to know what's on your mind, geocachers. You know, what's burning? What are you wondering about? What are you excited about? What do you want to share? So it's open mic night tonight. And what I'd like to do is ask everybody while we're doing our notes from the field, go ahead, for those of us in the Zoom room and on YouTube, if you're watching, put in the chat. Just type in what you'd like to talk about tonight, or if you have a specific question or something along or a topic. And we can also draw from these information and expand on some of them on later Mappy hours coming up here this fall. So let me get a few more folks in from the waiting room and pull up the chat. There it is. Okay, very good. But we do have a few little housekeeping things to do before we get started here with Mappy Hour. Again, our topic is open mic night, and then after or before we get to that, we do our notes from the field. I would love to know what everybody's been up to geocaching wise, and we'll give you all 2 minutes to share. Anyone that would like to share about their geocaching adventures, and but before we do that, I do have some ground rules. So, first of all, it's a big night tonight, right now. Please, no spoilers for our sporting friends. And we'll be getting back to the game later here
Mhm.
after the show here. But keep everything family friendly. Treat this like you would any other geocaching event. There could be kids in the room with us. Again, we are broadcasting live to YouTube, and then this is being saved and will be put into our Cache GPT, our AI that we have for geocachers. And if you'd like to join in the conversation, just raise your hand, like a couple of folks have done already that I see. And again, if you're on YouTube, just type in the comments. But if you have something to say that's out of order, just wave at the camera if you're in the Zoom room, and we'll hopefully see you and call on you. If you've got an answer to somebody's question that might have come up, or a pertinent comment thereabouts, so yeah, I think those are the basics.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to notes from the field, and we're going to kick off with Robert first, and then also Scott after that.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I want to give a shout out to Scott. Thank you for the NFC tag. I was able to use that to create a new multi-cache. So I was very excited about that. Got that published and everything operational. I have attended a few events. I am going to attend the Mega tomorrow, the Geo Coin Fest here in Castle Rock, Colorado. I am volunteering there as well, so I'm excited to have some fun and enjoy it and enjoy all the social and company.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm glad you're going to make it.
Yeah, we're obviously not going to make it to Coin Fest this year, so we're looking forward to hearing back from everybody that is there. I've been seeing a lot of posts from a lot of our friends. And I see you only have a few minutes. Was there anything that you'd like to add? I'll give you an extended notes from the field.
That's all right. That's just what I wanted to say for now. I just got to go rush to my nephew's soccer game.
Oh, excellent.
Okay.
Good luck.
All right. Go soccer.
All
Cool.
right.
Thanks.
Yeah. So we've got Scott and then Melissa.
So set a few caches, found a few caches, put Signal Island behind me. It turned out to be an excellent event. It was neat seeing Chris Rock there and a few other people. So that was just fabulous. But the most exciting thing that happened this week was that Robert took that NFC tag and set a geocache with it. And I still have some NFC tags available. If you would like me to mail you one and some instructions on how to program it, um, just message me on GCHQ as GSM X2, uh, and I will give me your address and I'll mail you off one. That's it.
Awesome. Yeah, again, that was another event that we couldn't make it to this year. I had my eye on it. I was looking at flights and hotels and everything, but we just had too much family stuff going on that we couldn't get away. So I'm glad it went well.
It went really, really. One of the organizers read 200 attended logs, not one negative comment. So yeah,
That's
Nice.
awesome. Yeah,
that is
geocachers can be
awesome.
a little bit critical sometimes.
Oh yeah, well when you got perfect weather and a perfect setup and lots to do, everybody was able to find something that they enjoyed.
Absolutely. And well planned. So cool. That's great.
Good job.
Yeah. Melissa.
Okay, so it wasn't here the last time, but that's because I had two big weekend events. Geocaching. I went down to Maryland for their block party, celebrating 25 years of geocaching. And it was a nice event, really cool coin. Um, it was a nice event. I wasn't ecstatic with it, but it was a nice event. But then the weekend after that, my husband and I went up to Canada for their inaugural Fall Fest, and it was a blast. This is going to be a repeating event. They already have the page open for next year's, and I would say if anybody is looking forward to going to Ontario, Canada, it's a great time to do it, and it was a really cool event. I my my friend calls him my muggly husband. He's not fully muggle anymore, but she calls him muggly, and he liked that term.
Okay.
But he went with me. He even volunteered with me at the event. And he had a good time too. So got to see a few people from here. Got to have a really good time. It's one of those events, they have way more than you can possibly do in the weekend.
Oh,
So
okay.
you get to choose the things you enjoy. And I really like that. And had a really good time. And they put on a really nice event. So I'm telling you, Fall Fest 2026 is out there already.
So where exactly in Toronto, or is it
It was in Ontario.
Rio?
My husband and I actually went out on Tuesday and attended a Blue Jays game.
All right.
And it was, because of traffic, it was about an hour and a half west of Toronto.
Okay.
It's in we stayed in Brantford, which is the big city, but it was a small town, like 20 minutes from Brantford is where it was at their agricultural center. They have camping available if you want to camp. And I know people who camped and really enjoyed it. They don't have showers. So, that, what kind of camping you want to do. If you have like a motorhome or something, But the hotel was it just depended on traffic. We were on Wayne Gretzky Way. So, that was another thing my husband and I did when we were there. We went to the NHL Hall of Fame. So,
Wow.
and
Oh,
I know
cool.
I've gone over my 2 minutes, but I just really want to say, it was a good event. And they're already planning stuff where you can pre-buy this trackable package that is going to have clues to events at next year's.
Oh,
So,
fun.
yeah. So,
Okay.
and I guess that's part of it. I mean, they had all kinds of different things, but they had some of this puzzly stuff that my husband definitely gets into. So that I enjoyed that with him because,
Okay.
not all events have that sort of thing.
Scott.
Mhm.
Oh, and they did.
Well,
Oh, okay. I got one other event. They did. They can't do a poker run in Canada because of laws or something, but they had 15 birdhouses with those NFC chips in them. And so these were at different businesses and stuff. And so you went and you did the NFC chip on the birdhouse, and that gave you a code word. And if you got all 15 code words, then I think it was a path tag you got.
Wow.
So instead of a poker run, this was
Yeah.
and we really enjoyed that.
So yeah, I apologize. I wasn't trying to interrupt, but Scott has something to chime in on for what you're
Yeah.
saying.
all I was going to do is, Melissa, could you look up the GC code of next year's event and stick it in the chat?
I will look it up.
Awesome.
Nice. Okay.
Thanks. I love that. What you said about purchasing something, way in advance to help you with puzzles really reminds me of going caching, how they would put that t-shirt out, and then all the other puzzles and
Never
such.
did
So,
solve them.
no,
And
Yeah,
but
some of
I
it.
you can
love that.
pre-purchase it now. I think it's 6 months starting in March is
Mhm.
when you'll start receiving them, like one a month.
Oh, okay.
And so you can either pay for it monthly or pay for it in one chunk.
Ah,
Okay.
So,
love it.
but I thought that was really cool. And yes, I'll find the GC code.
So before we move on, we got in YouTube, we got Great Two. Happy to report, got my Earth Cache souvenir today.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, I think with that just started today, I believe, for finding earth caches. So yeah, get out there and get some earth caches, folks. For sure. All right, we've got two more hands. Thank you, Melissa. It was great to hear from you. We've got Ken and then Tom Fuller.
So, the town is Burford, Ontario, because I was also there. Halfway between London and Toronto, approximately where 401, 403 split to go to Niagara Falls. So very good event, especially for a first time. Very well organized. There's some glitches, but if there isn't, they weren't doing enough. So I also made it up there. That's why I was on this call, as I was busy driving in the middle of the night in Canada and didn't really want to sit there and press the rules over there any, or give the bridge crossing somebody another thing to, you know, question me about. So um that I was up there, had fun. That was my first caching trip of size for a while. It was a mega event versus block party, so I was able to grab that icon for the year. Um, so that was a fun little thing. My first time on for several weeks, just schedules have not allowed for it. The event I hosted in Hillsdale, I think, went fairly well with every glitch that we could have thrown at us, with venues closing and all kinds of weird stuff, but I think we were able to make it go pretty well.
Hmm.
On that, it's going to be a busy year next year because a large one in Flint that is one weekend, mine's the following, and then that Ontario event is the following weekend. So I will have a lot back to back on that. But very excited. One of the people who came the farthest at my event was the cashers that used to put on the Berkshire Geobash. So that
Yeah.
was really neat to run into them again, as well as a few of the people who'd went on my Scotland trip from years gone by. So, but been stepped back from caching for a bit, but it was good to see a lot of people come and, I mean, basically just have to run around and replace caches that kept breaking, including every one of my gadget caches the weekend of my event being down. So that was a little bit of a disappointment. But the
Mm.
last finder said they were good.
Oh no.
So
Ugh.
So was it the people at the event that were breaking them, or?
no, it just we hadn't had any traffic for a few months in the area, and
Mhm.
so I had locks that were or latches that were seized, and a mouse that took residence in one, and
Oh, I
um,
see. Okay.
probably a previous finder that decided to beat on one of them enough to break it off the post. So
Mhm.
I tried bending it back and seeing if I could make it go, but I've got a few of them on the workshop bench right now, trying to get them back up and going before one of those nasty reviewers sends me a note and archives my caches.
Oh no. Don't want to have that happen.
Yeah.
Always respond to your reviewers, people.
Yeah. Some of them are jerks, I'm here to tell you.
I've heard that.
For the new people on here, I am a reviewer, so
Yeah. That's why we're kind of
And
joking.
didn't you tell us once you actually sent a reviewer note to your cashier account to?
yes, I have sent my own notices different times, and get the chime on my phone, realizing that I just sent an email to myself, which is never a good feeling. And then I get a little belligerent and argue with myself back and forth, which people are probably wondering what's going on. But if you can't have one, why not?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's funny. I can relate to that a little bit from a business perspective, being a businesswoman and then being a cashier. So I, have that double personality as well. Oh, it's just me. So anyway. Cool. Thanks, Ken. It's good to see you again. We've got Tom next.
Yeah, I had a busy week. I think Monday I went to an event at the Redmond Library, Redmond, Oregon. It was a teenager's first geocaching event. She had help from her parents, but it was
Okay.
it was on her, and you were supposed to bring your own container and paint it. It was a maker's
Oh, okay.
event. So
Oh,
I,
fun.
I painted a couple of my screw top containers, and I also glued a yeah, I made them letterbox. I glued the uh, what do they call them, stamp on the
Oh, okay,
inside of
letterbox.
the lid.
Mm,
Maybe
Okay.
a letterbox.
maybe they'll remember to screw the lid back on and not take the stamp along with them. So,
Oh, that's all right.
okay,
Okay.
That's a good
so
idea.
Yeah. Well.
and then today I went all the way to Steens Mountain and did two of the highest elevation caches in Oregon.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. The second one I did was 9733 Steens Mountain. That
Wow.
was the elevation. And actually, my GPS said it was closer to 9750. So, yeah. And
Wow.
it only took me 25 years, but I now have a GPS receiver, not only GPS but GLONASS and the Chinese version
Hmm.
with a rechargeable battery in it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So the first GPS I ever used was a $5,000 one that had rechargeable batteries. Now I have one of my own with a rechargeable battery. So, yeah. So, yep, I let my friend Low Scaler know that both of his caches on top of Steens Mountain are in good shape.
Nice.
Oh, that's
It
awesome.
was only a 525-mile round trip,
Yeah.
262 miles each way.
Well, out west, that's nothing.
Yep. And I did one in downtown Burns just to make sure I had one at a lower elevation.
Oh, there you
Okay,
go.
that's all for this.
Okay,
Sounds
awesome.
good,
Thanks
Tom.
for the report. So we did a little bit of geocaching recently.
Mhm.
We went up to Mount Spokane. And it's funny, Facebook reminds you of, your history on this day. And apparently I enjoy going up to Mount Spokane around the
Yeah.
equinox, which is also a full moon time. Although this trip wasn't that planned, but it's a fun time. Speaking of high elevation, to be at a high elevation when a full moon is coming up, you can watch the sunset and watch the full moon rise. Yeah. But anyway, so we got a couple of caches up there and ran out of time because we ran into a friend, actually on purpose. One of a geocacher, TC Life, and his wife are camp hosts, and they were camp hosting. They'd been there most of the summer at the state, yeah, it's a state park, Washington State Park, in at Mount Spokane. And we swung by, and they were home. Well, he was home, she was not. She was out getting supplies, I believe. And so we had a really nice visit, a good time to catch up with the geocacher that's been around in the geocaching world for a long time. He's put on some big coin challenges and has done a lot for the geocaching community. But now really enjoying camp hosting. It's just a great way of life that they are doing it with their truck camper all
Mhm.
around the state. And then we went to an event. I went to Ashley's event.
Yep, that was fun. Oh, yeah, I found that cache
Hmm.
on the
Yeah.
water tower.
Yeah. So there's a water tower at Shuttle Park here in Spokane that has probably had, I don't know, 5 or 6 micros on it
Yeah, that
over
would be
the
the first
years.
one I've actually found, though.
Oh, yeah.
I've looked for them all, but
I think I found like 2 or 3, but
mhm.
with groups usually.
Yeah,
So it's in the middle of a park right next to a high school, next to a big library. It's a really nice complex, and different caches have been there, and we got to see Mountain Goat 50. He was at that event too. Yeah, so it's a good
and the
video.
sole reason why I found this one.
Yeah, yeah. And I saw all these guys leaving while I was talking with other people and came to a lull in the conversation. So I'm like, hey, let's go caching. Because a couple folks that hadn't found that either, and some newer cachers too at the event. So I said, follow me. And we met up with everybody else who was already out there doing the caching.
Yeah,
So that was fun.
you walked all 57 feet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thereabouts. Yeah. Well, maybe more feet than that, I think. I don't know. So, and I also want to thank everybody that wished me happy birthday. I haven't done that personally to everybody on Facebook. So thank you for the birthday wishes. Gosh, turning 60, the wheels are starting to fall off. I've had an awful week actually, but I'm feeling much better today. So that's a good thing. And let's see. I know Scott has some really interesting information for us. So I'm going to turn it over to Scott and we're going to talk about treasures,
Mhm.
I assume.
Yeah, there's a new aspect to
Yeah,
it.
there's a bunch of new stuff going on and you are ready to share.
I am. Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff going on. So I'm going to share my screen. For some people, this might be, hopefully for a lot of people, it's going to be brand new. Some people might not be interested in treasures at all. and you're welcome to, tune out a little bit. But they have changed the treasures. And for those who don't know about treasures at all, let me just say you can get to it either in the app, the official app, or you can get through it on the on your through your browser. So to get through my browser, I just went over here and clicked on my profile. That brought up the new page, and I don't know how to do this on the old page. You go over here to treasures, and you can see that I don't have any treasures active. And here's the new feature that they've brought in. In the old days, and I'll just use these, the River Expedition, this is a brand new one. These are all 16 different cache types or cache difficulties. This is a 1.1 over here. This is a 2.2 over here. And as you get them, you fill in your collection. Over here, we have fossils. And to get a fossil, you have to go get an earth cache. Well, in the old days, you didn't have to activate anything. Everything was just automatically activated. But let's say I went for an earth cache that was a pretty good hike, a 2.2, a 2.5, and maybe a 2.5. And in the old days, geocaching.com randomly would assign it either maybe here to the river expedition or over to the Earth Cache expedition. If I had hiked 2.5, I'd hiked all the way to get to a 2.5, and all of a sudden, all I'm getting is an Earth or a river expedition. I would be a little pissed, and I think that happened to a lot of people. Is they were there as things would overlap, they would get something they really didn't want. So what geocaching.com did is they said, okay, we're going to have you activate what's important to you. So to activate, all I need to do is click here. I can activate it and add it to collection one. Over here, I can take my Earth cache and I can activate it. Uh, and I'm going to put on collection two. So now this is prioritizing. And what I really should have done is done them in the other direction. So let me do that. So I'm going to take my fossils and I'm going to activate it at priority one. And I'm going to take my uh, rivers and activate it as number two. And now if I go get my earth cache, it will automatically go over there and qualify for my fossils. And so on down the line. The third one down here, let me close that. Third one down here is celebrating gifts. To celebrate gifts, it's just go to an event. And so I can activate that, position number three. And that's not going to conflict with anything. But anyways, that's kind of the gist of it. If there are now about 11 different treasure collections out there, you can only activate 3 of them at a time. So be aware of that. Let's say you're going to go to an event. You want to make sure that you go in there and activate, the geocache celebrating gift, which are events. So that's about the gist of it. But yeah, I went out yesterday with people. They had not activated the river collection. Activated at my suggestion, and they had filled in 3 or 4 of them by the end of the day. Had they not activated it, they would have gotten none of those.
Yeah.
So that's my little 5-minute lesson on
So
what's going on.
I think the river one, the river expedition puzzle.
Yes,
Now, is that the one that was in the logbook this week about if you finish it, you get a souvenir?
yes. Apparently, when you fill this all in, you're going to be able to get a souvenir.
Okay. So,
Uh,
and then I also read or misread that it is for premium members only.
That is correct. It is premium members only.
Mm,
And so that just sort of struck me as that's interesting, right?
mhm.
So yeah, if you're not a premium member, uh, well, you can't get the souvenir in essence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't get the souvenir.
And so yeah, it's a
So I've got a question for the activating and deactivating.
Yes.
Can you do that to all of them? And so you aren't
Yep.
turn them
Yeah.
on and off at
Yes.
will?
You
And you,
can, for those people who don't want to have treasures, they don't want to be bothered with the little pop-up,
Mhm.
they're not into treasures, just don't activate them and
Okay.
you'll never get that. And yes,
Okay.
and just like you saw, Lisa, I can activate and reactivate at any time,
Okay. And
but
it
I
keeps
can only
track.
have 3 of them activated at any one time.
And if you log a cache that you wanted to qualify for a particular one, but it wasn't activated, you're out of luck. Then you'd need
You're out
to
of luck. So you do
delete your
have to,
log
right.
and then relog it after you activate.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what you can do is delete the log, activate, and then relog.
Okay. It's
All
getting
right.
complicated.
Complicated, but in my mind, a lot better than them randomly giving
Yes.
it to, I mean, in Tools of Trade was my Tools of Trade was doing when it was the old system.
Mhm.
There's only 9 tools of the trade in all of Ventura County that I hadn't gotten. So I was
no.
not at all interested in getting it, doing one, and having it go to a different collection. So I had to finish every collection before I went after tools of the trade.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
For fossils, I haven't found any. It says 0 of 6, and the requirements are earth caches or an earth cache. Do you have to
There,
find 6 earth caches?
have to find 6 earth caches.
That ain't happening. I'm saving them for next year's souvenir.
I saw you post
There aren't
that
that
and I
many
wanted to
around.
mention.
I, I haven't gotten, well, yeah, I agree with you. For me to get 6, I'm going to have to do a lot of hiking.
Yeah.
So, or encourage people to go out there and set some earth caches.
Well,
Hide
you're
some.
in luck because
Yes.
Nicole B. Genius in YouTube states, hope everyone is able to work on their earth caching this weekend. I published my first one just in time for it.
Hey, good job.
Excellent.
And has plans for another one.
Excellent.
And
Excellent.
Houston, Texas, Dave is in the house.
Hmm.
He's going to be working on one tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'm asking Nicole for the GC code. Maybe it's near one of us and we can use it.
That would be nice.
Mhm.
That sure would. Yeah. So, Jim, Mountain Goat 50, I saw your post earlier about how you're saving earth caches, for sprinkle them out through the years based on, wanting to get that souvenir next year and the following year and the following year. And that's something that has come up here and there is how we stop sometimes. We save
Mhm.
inventory so we can potentially earn a souvenir later. And it's sometimes it's a fun way to play the game, but it also interrupts our fun as well. So I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing. So
I think it's I like how it gives options to uh play how you want to play, right?
true,
And
true.
and so if we know cachers that just if it's an earth cache, they're out there finding it now because
Mhm.
they just love earth caches. And now they're going, oh no, I have no inventory.
Yeah, animal.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And we play differently because we do most of our big numbers caching when we're at our events.
Mhm.
And so we have all this inventory back home
Mhm.
that is usable to us. And then the other thought I had about earth caches and saving them is I've noticed that earth caches tend to stay around forever. I mean, it's safe to put them in your back pocket. Whereas there's other types of caches that, your gadget cache trail or whatever that, like Ken was saying, they come and go, they work, they don't work,
Mhm.
things of that nature. Uh, well, we had a local cacher had archived a hide that was very old. It was like my 800th find way back when. And when they placed it, they thought they were placing it on family property. And now they come to find out that wasn't true. And so they have to archive it.
Which cache was that?
Uncle Randall's cabin, I think. That ring a bell, Jim? I think that was it.
Well, it does, and I found it a long time ago too, and I'm trying to understand how you would not know if that's your property or
I
not.
know.
Whatever. And I have found a few earth caches in the past that were archived for whatever reason. So they do sometimes, but it's not like I have saved caches before for that special day, only to have them get archived before I could get to them.
Yep.
But and
Mhm.
a lot of it is if I traveled more and could do earth caches out of the area, 6 earth caches for a lot of people is going to be a real effort, I think.
Mhm.
Unless you're planning a trip to Yellowstone and you've never been there before.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or um, if you're going to travel, I recommend travel on a cruise ship to Alaska and go to Glacier Bay National Park, and you're going to get 6 of them just sitting on your balcony.
Right. Sipping champagne.
And they're all difficulty 5 because you
Yeah.
need special equipment.
Cruise ship. Yeah.
Well, terrain 5 too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
it just seems like a lot of earth caches to expect people to find in most places, at least experienced cachers that have already, pretty much cleaned out their local area. I
Right.
mean, there are about 4 locally. I picked one today and I looked at the others and thought, I can't do those. I gotta, who knows what next year's gonna bring.
Yep.
Good point. Yeah.
Well,
We're gonna have to look over our
yeah.
potential targets this weekend as well.
So,
Mhm.
so our Florida area friends are in luck because that's where Nicole B. Genius is, Florida girl.
No? Oh, okay.
So it might be a bit of a drive for y'all.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. That's
Yeah.
diametrically opposed from us in Washington State. But being in Florida, they should be accessible year round. That's
Mhm.
another thing with some earth caches, especially up in the mountains and such. They're not accessible during wintertime. So I've got a couple of hands have flown up. I think I'm going to go to Chris and then back to Scott. Does that work? Okay.
Mhm.
So I was just reacting to what Jim said and kind of the implication of the conversation that it's going to be hard to get some of these treasures for some people because they don't have 6 earth caches nearby. I think that's kind of the point of treasures, though, that they're supposed to be different than the souvenir promotions, so that you can, and the whole purpose of being able to activate them is picking what you want to work on. So trying to mix things up a little, trying to make it tougher for people who, like us. It's really hard for me to find a challenge nowadays where I've got to go find a cache. A
Mhm.
challenge power trail is just a regular power trail to me because I can log them all. So yeah, I think that's the point of treasures, that it's supposed to be a little bit harder. So
That makes
Okay.
sense. Yeah. Thanks for that insight. Yeah.
And
Go ahead, Scott.
yeah, and I'm going to say, and it also is to take you out of your normal routine, out of your comfort zone.
Mhm.
There, there are a lot of people who don't like and don't do earth caches,
Yeah.
and so they probably have a good inventory, and now they'll be able to have a purpose to go out there.
Mhm.
I will say, uh, one of the treasure collections required you to do a puzzle cache that was available 24/7. I've been known to say there can never be too few puzzle caches. But I solved some puzzles and I went out and got them. And if it wasn't for treasures and my apparent addiction for treasures or my desire to get the treasures, I would never have done that. So I think
Then,
that is part of the point of what the treasures are supposed to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's like they're an organized way of a challenge,
Mhm.
putting a challenge out. Because so many of the challenge caches that I've gone for have led me down paths and trails and adventures that I never would have done had I not been working towards that goal. So
And
these are,
and maybe Mountain Goat 50 is going to do a little more traveling to get his earth
I
caches.
know.
yeah,
But I do like that they're essentially, it's a good point. They're creating challenges that aren't tied to an ALR on a cache.
mhm.
And challenge caches gripe me because if you find the container and sign the log, you should be able to log your find. And they should get everything consistent and do away with all the ALRs. In my humble opinion, I will get off my soapbox on that.
And for those that don't know, that means additional logging requirements, which is what a challenge cache is. Like trying to find, you've got to find 5 states in 2 days or something like that. You've got these additional logging requirements before you can actually go and find that particular cache
yeah,
or log it.
one of the logging, basically the additional logging requirement is attaching the proof from
Yes.
Project GC.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It,
and Lisa, you've seen it on your Jasper challenge. You have people that see the question mark icon on the map and they're new cachers. They found 1 or 2 caches. They go find it. They're excited. They're thrilled. They brought their kids. It's the highlight of their day and they log a find on it.
Yeah.
and take the first to find prize.
Well,
Yeah.
and take the first find prize.
Yeah, when I first published my Jasmer, I have the North Idaho Jasmer challenge cache, and the first to finder had like 8 finds, and I had put in a card for a premium membership for a year and a coin and a couple other wonderful prizes for the first to finder, and this person with 8 caches took it all. He cleaned the cache out. Um,
But he did say it was the best cache ever.
yeah.
Did
So
he leave anything?
What was that?
Did he leave anything?
No, of course not. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah, I reached out, but they never responded and did not give any of it back. But I obviously did delete their log, since they couldn't, give the proof of what they had done.
So
Anyway, yes.
So Nicole has 2 really good points related to treasures as well.
Mhm.
She says they don't expire, right? So you don't have to power through it as much as some of us want to.
That's true.
Yeah.
The
So
previous promotions were
oh yeah, you had
a
to
window.
small windows of time. You had to do it if you wanted them. And she's saying it's also inspired to hide different too. And I love seeing new caches out like letterboxes and multis.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Mhm. So yeah, earth caches, letterboxes, multis. Absolutely. Tom, you got your hand up.
Yeah, so I will be putting out those 2 letterbox hybrids sometime fairly soon. And that cache I went to today, 9733, was part of a challenge that I had to have a cache that was above 8,000 feet elevation and a cache at 0 or below. Well, many years ago, I did the virtual called "Don't Drink the Water" in Death Valley, at 282 feet below sea level.
Wow.
You look up at a cliff, and there's a paint mark up on the cliff, which marks sea level.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah, but I do have 2 earth caches that haven't been found in about 5 years. And I hope they don't archive them just because nobody goes to get them.
I'll have to make a trip out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, one's on the south side of Paulina Mountain, and the other one is east of my most popular one. My most popular one is Crack in the Ground.
Oh.
Crack in the Ground. Yeah, it's a very rough road to get to Crack in the Ground. It's also a rough road to get the other one too. I wouldn't want to try to travel across country from one to the other.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Even though they're 2 miles apart. So, yep. So, yeah, I'll type in my 2 earth caches that nobody ever goes finds.
Okay, yeah, we'd like to know.
Yeah.
Well,
And coming down off the top of the mountain there, there was a signboard for Wild Horse Lake, which is an earth cache. So I took pictures of the signboard, and so I can answer the questions. I'll do that for my earth cache for this weekend.
okay.
That's it.
Wow.
Awesome. Well, thank you for all that.
Yeah, so in chat, Mike mentioned if I see a cache with a challenge reference, it's a non-starter for him. So yeah. I really don't have any types that I'm just not gonna do because of its type, but I do prioritize. I multi-caches, or if I absolutely need to do a multi-cache to get a treasure or something. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
and overlook them too, the multis for sure.
yeah, and
Mhm.
unless I start reading it, it says this is a quick 2-stop all in one shopping. Oh, okay, I might.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's a short one.
but yeah, that's my okay.
Mhm. Although we've used multi-caches a lot in our geo tours and coin challenges. So it's a great way to draw somebody to a particular location to see or learn or experience something, but it's not available to hide something there. Then they can gather a little bit of information and move on to the next spot. So have to keep that in mind that multi-caches are often going to be, to an interesting place, but not always. Sometimes it's just point A to point B.
hmm Well, yeah, I guess it's like anything else. How are you introduced to them? And so
True.
when I started geocaching here, a local cacher had a a multi that was called it Choose Your Own Adventure, and it
I remember that.
took time to do, and it ate up a lot of real estate
Mhm.
because um, I wanted to hide my very first cache, and I couldn't because this was one of the guys' choose your own adventure spots. And then as I got to know people and talking about it, that a lot of people were having the same problem. So how's this one cache taking up all this real estate? And
Like some of the tourist traps that we had.
and so it's a um and so that's my introduction to the multi, and it's like
Yeah, kind of ruined it for you.
yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
And so obviously Jim J. Carr had a different introduction to multi caches because that's his favorite. Loves them.
Okay, since there's a pause, There was one in Idaho, the Monumental Multi or something like that. Do you remember that one?
Sounds familiar.
I don't.
I can't remember if it was in this North Idaho ski bum or who did it, but it started out pretty simple. You would find monuments and this and that, and I never did it, but I was talking to some people that had started it, and there was no hint on the cache page how many stages or where you would end up, and they had made a good start on it, and were headed off for the next stage, and they realized that it was on the top of Monumental Mountain up in North Idaho, which was many miles away.
Oh my goodness.
And that was where the final was.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, that does sound kind of familiar. It makes me think of the one that we did at Spider Caves,
Mm-hmm.
where it starts.
In town.
Which town?
Morphine. No.
No, I don't think
It was
so.
Orofino, was it? Or
Was it?
I thought.
I could be
maybe.
wrong, or Lewiston, Clarkston, maybe.
Something, yeah, south.
Some back alley of their house, and
Say what you will, though, that was in one of my top 5 favorite caches.
yeah.
Yeah, that was an amazing cache for sure, but it did take you on an all-day adventure.
Oh,
But that
Yeah.
one was worth it.
And it was even more adventurous for those of us that don't like heights. So
Yeah. Yeah. But you didn't. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
And I
my
think
wife's
that's
still mad at me about that one.
Oh, I bet. So that particular one took us, and the final, you had to walk out on an old railroad track trestles
Trestles, yeah.
that were retired and gaps and
Yeah.
yeah,
In ill repair. Yeah.
yeah, very ill repair. Yeah, you're definitely taking your life in your own hands doing that one. Ugh. So Melissa, save us, please.
Yeah, I live near one of the huge parks here in Allegheny County. It's over 140 acres within Allegheny County. And one of a good friend geocacher put out a 10-stage multi in this park that's a 10-mile hike
Hmm.
in this park. It took me 4 days, 4 different
Yeah.
trips,
Mm,
going out a couple of hours. Now, by breaking it up, it also took more time because of, some of the in and outs.
Right.
okay.
Mhm.
But the final, and one of the stages gave me so much trouble finding, but the final is a huge container with all kinds of stuff in it, and it was so worth all the work.
Yeah,
And
okay.
you had, I mean, you could, I forget, I know a couple of people have done it one day, and it's probably, if you don't have too much trouble finding anything, it's probably between a 3 and a 4 hour hike,
Mm.
To just do it in one go. But it I'm not big on that. I mean, that sort of thing, unless, they tell you it's 10 stages. They tell you it's, massive hiking. So you can plan.
Yeah.
To just go for a multi and go, oh my gosh, no way.
Right.
But you see so much of the park that you wouldn't see also.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I can see an aspect of that, just in you telling the story
Mhm.
of it was a sense of accomplishment. This was, yeah. Yep.
Much like a challenge or
and,
pressure.
and and it only gave you one smiley.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but it really was enjoyable.
Mhm.
But you've got to enjoy doing that sort of thing.
Mhm.
And obviously that, as Scott said, pick what you enjoy and leave the rest for others.
Right. Choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that ties in with Nicole on YouTube. Says, I love hearing about everyone's caching style and preferences. Uh, Goes on to say, I don't think I've ever met two cachers with the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. because you and I have different preferences, and luckily we can talk each other into, for a small period of time doing something that the other one really enjoys. We do have some that we both really
Mhm.
enjoy. But yeah, so Chris, I think you've got some thoughts on this as well, perhaps.
Well, since our conversation seems to have become centered on Maltese, but before I go with my multi thought, I have to react with a bit of shock. JD, you don't like hiking? Aren't you a big hunter?
Mhm.
Doesn't hunting involve hiking?
And a lot.
Um, no, it's not the hiking, aspect of it. It's really it boils down to what Melissa said. There, in the end, there's just one Smiley.
Oh,
Okay.
you gotta do it.
I was curious. All right. All right. So multis. So I'm curious what the longest multi is that everybody's done. And Melissa was just talking about a 10 stager. I don't know if you guys have ever cashed in Europe, especially like Germany and Czech Republic. Holy mackerel, do they like their long multis? My longest is 23 stages.
Wow.
And it would actually overlap with like you'd get to one place and you do like stage 13 for this multi and it was stage 2 for this other multi and oh
Oh
man
my goodness.
Hmm.
It was some work. I often cash with Daff and she's like, I'm done. She went back to the hospital and I finished it out.
Oh,
So what's
wow.
the longest multi any of you guys have ever done?
I've done a 17 stage one, but honestly, it was through terra caching, not geocaching.
Hmm.
So different game, but same concept. Anybody else?
I don't know what my longest one was. I know there was like a 6 or 7 stage put out by our friends from the Netherlands
Yes.
that was
Oh,
very, very creative because each stage you had to do different geocaching related aspects like project a waypoint or convert coordinates and things of that
and solve
nature.
a puzzle and
Yeah.
Huh?
And so I cleverly waited for 3, 4 years till they archived the multi and turned every stop into their own geocache.
Yeah,
So
it was too difficult. It was, they were from the Netherlands, and it was more like a European style
Mhm.
hide, I think.
Where
And
math is easy in the
yeah,
Netherlands. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, she was a civil engineer
I know.
in the Netherlands, but here it was a little more challenging. Got a couple of hands have come up, Ken.
So I'm not sure which of them qualifies, but Dublin, Ireland is one of those cities that you have virtuals, multis, puzzles that are each in double digit stages. They're crisscrossing each other across the city. Um, one of their virtuals, I believe, is 22 stages that you have to get pieces off of each of that to get the coordinates to come up with the final pub that you have to identify, which is in a tucked back alley. And they have one on the north side and one on the south side. I think the north side was an 18 stager, the south side was 22 stages, and I was stupid enough to do that St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Ooh,
Um, so
in Dublin?
Oh boy.
yes, which,
Cheers.
which means zero Irish people, all Germans and drunk Americans.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, the Irish were busy.
yes, they're smart. They go on holiday outside the city,
Yeah,
and the Americans and Germans invade.
I
But
bet.
Hmm.
yeah, so I'm not sure if I've done anything there. I know there used to be a multi, as far as distance, that used to work its way down 75, starting in Michigan and worked its way all the way down to Florida if
Hmm.
you're going for length, but I've never finished or done much of that one. And I'm not sure if it's still active or not. I mean, I know there's partnership ones where you have to find one here and somebody helps you that have the distance, but an actual single multi running the whole length
Yeah.
of, or a good chunk of the length of 75, I think qualifies as one of the longer
Yeah.
in one swath.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, the 17 stage one I did was just a hike
Oh.
around Riverside State Park actually. So, yeah, it wasn't a half a day hike. but not a lot of no driving
Mhm.
involved, really.
Mm.
Again, a nice loop.
I wished Bob was on tonight because I'd want to, if he's facing this situation like you guys are talking about,
Mhm.
these huge multis that crisscross each other.
Mhm.
How's that mess with his efficiency expert brain?
No.
Oh, well, he'd just probably blow up. Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Potentially. Well, we ran into that with doing adventure labs
Yeah.
with the multi-stages. And sometimes back in the day when you couldn't see other adventure lab locations, you'd be doing one and realize that you'd walked by 2 or 3 stops from a different adventure lab. And that was super frustrating. We'd have to have you and I both have one open and the other one open on a different phone, try to figure out, which ones to do because they overlapped and crisscrossed each other. So yeah, there's that aspect as well, because literally every adventure lab is a multi, right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I want to get this in.
Mhm.
Nicole says the longest she's done is 5, and it took all day because it was in the swamps.
Oh my goodness.
And probably, she didn't say this, I'm just guessing, some alligator dodging. That's just,
Potentially
yeah.
being in Florida. Yeah.
hmm
Scott, I think you had some thoughts there to add in.
Actually, I was going to make a comment about something Ken had said, but it's probably too late and we can use it as another, on another day.
Okay. All right. We'll hold that thought then. Well, we are into
Yeah,
the
drinks are
next
full price.
hour. So drinks are full price, guys. Sorry about that. Our Mappy hour, I think, is coming to an end.
Yeah, our game's been on pause.
Yeah. Have to get back to her game. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not seeing any other last thoughts. Oh, I see a
Yeah,
few more links here.
there's links everywhere.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
So yeah, next time we need to talk with um Leanca's 22 stages on a single,
Oof.
30 in a multi with separate smileys for each stage. Oh, there's a GC number. Maybe that will answer my question. I'm
Okay.
gonna look that up.
Interesting. Oh, maybe the multi took you to all the different geocaches to find the final. Now that'd be one way to do it.
hmm Yeah, I
I'm good
made
with
people
that.
mad
Mm-hmm.
because of our train, our Star Railroad,
Mm-hmm.
and then we had our adventure lab.
Mm-hmm.
And I made one of my adventure lab stops the next summer, like right at my physical geocache.
Mm-hmm.
But I did say in the lab, now take a look around, and then people would, they've done the lab, then they come back and find the cache physically like days, weeks later, says, now if I'd only known about this when I was here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Found
Okay.
the geocache.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's frustrating when things don't communicate.
That's
There's a failure of
what it
communication.
was, yeah.
Tom, do you have any last thoughts?
Yeah, my the very first mystery cache that I did, I gave the bearings from various places, and where they crossed, that's where I hid the cache. And it A. Dot Spring. I don't have the number, but I hit it about almost 20 years ago, and somebody found it after it has been 6 years since anybody had found it.
Wow.
And it's that far out in Lake County, Oregon, which has not too many caches in it. So, but somebody asked for the directions, so I told them how to get there. Yep, so sometimes those mystery caches hang around for a long time and nobody finds them.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, the Bridges and Arches of Central Park. I've actually heard of that.
I have heard of that
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I have. Hey, Pumpkin. Come here, buddy. Oh, hang on, folks. We got quick pet check. Oh, got a pet. He just appeared. So before we sign off, quick pet check. This is Mr. Hilo, 17-year-old. He's doing quite well.
You know, he's been 17 for like 3 years now.
No, I think so. I have to double check.
Yeah, we got it. I'll go
No.
with this searchy and
Yeah, he was born in 08. Because I got him at 8 months old, so not much, at least we know. Kona, we had no idea because she came to us as an adult. So I'm seeing some signals, and mountain goats got somebody, and oh, Melissa's got a new friend. Very colorful.
Wow.
Oh, well, yeah. Do you have anything more to say? He's quite the talker, especially about 4 o'clock in the morning.
JNLA's cat doesn't really look real this time.
Yeah, that's a different one, JNLA. Did you have anything more to say? No, all right. I guess he's going to save it for 4 a.m. All right. Well, this has been really fun conversation, everybody. I loved all the information around the treasures for sure. It was something we were actually talking about, but I just didn't get enough time to research that. So I'm glad that it turned into our topic and or a big part of our topic for sure. So thank you, everybody. Oops, hang on. I've got a few bits more. And 30 stager Iron Man. Holy
Yeah,
cow.
that's the one I was
Okay.
talking about.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, somebody misses his daddy. So thanks everyone for joining us for Mappy Hour. Tonight's show is brought to you by Cash Advance. I think I have just five Advent boxes left out of 200 that we have ordered and made product for. So if you haven't gotten one already and you want to get one, like tonight is your chance. So this is it. I'm excited. I mean, we've sold a lot more than we planned to increase our budget and our numbers with the Advent box, and we've hit them. So, oh my goodness. Is that little Miss Bella? Yeah, it's all grown up. Oh my gosh. Cool beans. So thank you everyone for joining us. We will be back in 2 weeks for our next installment of Mappy Hour. So we will see you all then. Same cash time, same cash channel. And go Mariners. Trident's up, we hope. Good night, everybody.
Or Detroit if you're so inclined.
Yeah, it's team win.